से हमें तार दे माँ।
तू स्वर की
की देवी है संगीत तुझसे, हर शब्द तेरा है हर गीत
तुझसे। हम हैं अकेले, हम हैं अधूरे,
तेरी शरण हम हमें तार दे माँ। हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ। मुनियों ने समझी है गुनियों ने जानी, वेदों की भाषा पुराणों की वाणी। हम भी तो समझे, हम भी तो जाने, विद्या का हमको भी अधिकार दे माँ। हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ।
Okay. So now shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Good. So I am sharing my screen. So we were doing Scratch, right? What is Scratch? Scratch is nothing but a free visual programming language. Remember?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts, any questions on this part?
No, sir.
No, sir.
It's a free visual programming language. I believe you all have understood this. It was developed by, so who developed it? It was developed by Lifelong Kindergarten Group
With
within the MIT Media Lab, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It enables to simplify the process of creating and programming animations, games, music, and interactive stories. So these are the uses why we use Scratch. Now comes features of Scratch. It is free of cost, so you don't have to pay to use it. It is easy to understand and learn. That we will see. Yes, because in comparison to others, they are more difficult to it. That's why we say it is easy to understand. You can take picture using webcam and use them in the sprites and background. So you can take your own picture and use it. It has modified GUI. We will again understand it further. It supports the resolution as low as 800 by 600. So generally other programming softwares are not able to work on low resolutions. It is able to. Variables can show and hide. So we can show and hide the variables. And for opening Scratch, to open Scratch, do the following steps. Click on Start button at the bottom left corner of your desktop. So in Windows 10, it is there over here, bottom left corner. This is Windows 11, so it is given over here. So this is our Start button. Click on the Start button, go to All Apps and click on Scratch 1.4. So this is about Scratch 1.4. if I click on start and I go to all apps, this is all apps for me, and I go to Scratch. So there I have Scratch 3, not Scratch 1.4. So Scratch 1.4 is a little bit older. This is Scratch 3, the latest version. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. थोड़ी blur है.
But the problem is in your internet connection connectivity, because over here it's absolutely fine. Got it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, got it. I have the same got it.
So this is there, how to open Scratch. I have shown you. Now next is what? Components of Scratch window, right? You have already done. So we have got block palette, script editor, stage. So what is block palette? The block palette is an area of the graphical user interface located between the stage and scripting area. So I'm doing one thing. I'm stop sharing and I will share it again. Components of a Scratch window. Are you able to see?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So are you able to see both the windows, the scratch window and the page of yours?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. The user interface for the Scratch development environment divides the screen mainly into these distinct sections. They are block palette, script editor, stage. So there are just three sections: block palette, script editor, and stage, right? Now, the block palette is an area of the graphical user interface. So you have read GUI. ये देखिए आप लोगों ने यहाँ पे GUI पढ़ा था. See,
Yes,
ये
sir.
देखिए, ये यहाँ पे GUI पढ़ा था आप लोगों ने.
Yes, sir.
So what is GUI stands for? Graphical user interface. Graphical user interface. Now, what is graphical user interface? Graphical, कोई भी आपका जो इमेज या वीडियो से रिलेटेड कोई भी वर्क है, और हम लोग कंप्यूटर के लैंग्वेज से ग्राफिकल वर्क बोलते हैं, ग्राफिक्स. सो दैट इज ग्राफिक्स. अब जब उसको यूजर यूज करेगा तो वो कहलाएगा यूजर, और जहां पे वो वर्क करेगा इट इज नोन एज इंटरफेस. सो हम लोग सारा वर्क लगता तो है कि कंप्यूटर पर ही कर रहे हैं. जब हम लोग वीडियो देख रहे हैं तो कंप्यूटर पे, पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं तो वीडियो कंप्यूटर पे, सब कुछ कंप्यूटर पे. बट एग्जैक्टली हम लोग कंप्यूटर का कौन सा पार्ट यूज कर रहे हैं, और हम लोग को क्या सारे कंप्यूटर इस वर्क के लिए कंपैटिबल है? कंपैटिबल मतलब उसके लिए फिट है. कंपैटिबिलिटी का मतलब ये हुआ, आप क्लास 4 में तभी पहुंच के पढ़ाई कर सकते हैं जब आपको बेसिक चीजें आ गई हो, अदरवाइज आपको कुछ समझ में आएगा ही नहीं. या आप जो बैग लेके ला रहे हैं जिसमें बुक्स लेकर के आते हैं, आप वो बैग अगर एकदम छोटा सा, नन्हा सा, हल्का सा है तो क्या आपका क्लास 4 का बुक्स का वेट उठा पाएगा? नो.
No, sir.
So compatibility means kind of जिससे कि दोनों एक दूसरे के लिए वर्केबल रहें. So that is what it is. So it has got 8 blocks: motion, looks, sound, pen, control, sensing, operations, variables. Right? So see, this is over here. The user interface for divides the screen mainly into 3 distinct sections. So what I am doing is, मैं क्या कर रहा हूं, आप लोग को जो पढ़ रहे हैं और जो आप देख रहे हैं वो दोनों चीजें एक साथ कर रहा हूं, so that you are able to understand it directly. हिंदी ट्रांसलेशन ना समझ करके जो इसमें लिखा हुआ है उसको डायरेक्टली समझिए और वर्क अपॉन करिए. So it says the user interface for the Scratch development environment. So what is the user interface? This whole screen is the...
Sir,
Draksh, what happened? Draksh, what happened?
No. Yes, sir.
What happened? क्या हुआ?
बाबा पापा इधर आ रहा है.
आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम है? पापा को कहीं भी आए जाए, आने जाने दीजिए, आप अपने वर्क पे फोकस करिए. You don't have to worry for that part. आप अपने उस पे फोकस करिए जो आपको वर्क करना है. आप अपने वर्क पे फोकस करिए. Remember, children, I have told you again and again, I am reminding you once again. अगर आपके सेंस ऑर्गन्स आपके कंट्रोल में नहीं है पढ़ाई करते वक्त, तो फिर पढ़ाई कर भी ली तो आप भूल जाएंगे और आपको दोबारा मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी। अगर आपने अपने जो आंखों ने देखा, जो कानों ने सुना, जो दिमाग ने समझा और जो मन ने, इनफैक्ट जो मन ने समझा और जो दिमाग ने याद किया, वो सब आपने एक कर लिया, तभी आपको फायदा मिलेगा। और इसीलिए जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ और जो मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ और जो मैं आप लोग को समझा रहा हूँ और जो दिखा रहा हूँ, सब एक कर रहा हूँ। तो मैं इसीलिए सारी चीजें एक साथ करके चल रहा हूँ। बहुत आसान है, इसको हिंदी में ट्रांसलेट किया और आप लोग के लिए छोड़ दिया। समझ में तो आप लोग को वैसे भी आ जाएगा, बट उससे आप इंडिपेंडेंट वर्क करना नहीं सीख पाएंगे, समझ नहीं पाएंगे। मैं इतनी मेहनत इसीलिए कर रहा हूँ, सब कुछ ढूंढ ढांड के ला करके दिखा करके, so that you get to understand. So focus. So see, it says the user interface for the Scratch development environment divides the screen mainly into 3 distinct sections. So this is the user interface. This whole screen is the user interface. ये जो यहाँ से यहाँ तक ये दिख रही है, this whole screen is the user interface. It has been divided into 3 sections. So this is section 1. This is section 2 in between, जिसके ऊपर ये हमारी screen आ रही है. Are you able to see the 3 sections?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And this is section 3. Right. So these are the 3 sections. In section 1, block palette. So this is section 1, which is the block palette. It has 3. The block palette is an area of the graphical user interface located between the stage and the scripting area. So earlier it was located in between. Right now it is in the left side. But if you will operate Scratch 1.4, हम लोग ये कौन जो चैप्टर पढ़ रहे हैं, it is of Scratch. See,
1.4.
it is Scratch 1.4.
1.4.
It is written over है, यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ देखिए, Scratch 1.4, right? And the one which I am telling you, it is Scratch
That's 3.
Crash.
3.27 to be precise. How do I come to know? हमें कैसे पता चलेगा? See, look over है, यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है. Are you able to see Scratch 3.2.7, 3.27?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is Scratch 3.27. So इसलिए थोड़े changes होंगे. So in Scratch 1.4, the block palette was in between. But in Scratch 3.27, it is in the left hand side corner. So आप लोग से जब question answer पूछे जाएंगे, they will be based upon 1.4 only, not 3.27. तो आप लोग between ही डालेंगे, left corner नहीं डालेंगे, लिखेंगे, right? But आप understand, दोनों का working similar है. So the block palette is an area of the graphical user interface located between the stage and the scripting area. It contains 8 blocks. The block palette contains following blocks. Motion. So see, this is motion. Looks. Sound. Pen. Okay, let's see what else are there. Control. Sensing. Operators. Variables. So pen has been converted to events. So these are the 8 blocks, right? And in Scratch 3.4 कुछ better कर दिया गया है, तो ये नया आ गया है my blocks. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any doubts, any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, the block palette is an area of the graphical user interface. So first of all, what is this area? Graphical user interface. So why we are saying graphical user interface? Because in this section, we will, whatever inputs or whatever instructions we are thinking to give to the computer, we will use this section for that. Got it? Beta, in whose room people are talking? किसके कमरे में बात हो रही है? Please ask your parents not to talk. So the block palette is an area of the graphical user interface located between the stage and the scripting area. Located between the stage and the scripting area. So it means in Scratch 1.4, it is in the center. The block palette contains the following blocks. So what are the blocks contained in the block palette? Motion, looks, sound, pen, control, sensing, operations, variables. So in block Scratch 3.27, pen has been converted to events. Rest you all have seen. Any doubts, any questions?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, next is the script editor. This section comprises the name of your sprite. So this is the name of your sprite, sprite 1. By default, the name of your sprite is sprite 1. So by default, so the moment I will open any new sprite, it will become sprite 1. But you can change the name in the left corner. It has rotate only, face, left, right, and don't rotate buttons. It also comprises scripts, costumes, and sound option. So see, it has. So this is the script editor. I can change the name from here. Right? Instead of sprite 1, I can write any. So that is what is written. By default. What is by default? Apne aap. Apne aap. By default. So by default, जब भी हम लोग एक new sprite खोलेंगे, it will take the name sprite 1. अभी अगर दूसरी खोल देंगे, it will take the name sprite 2. But can we change the name of the sprite 1? Yes, we can. From here, we can change the name. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what is the default name of the sprite? New sprite?
Sprite
Please
1.
switch on the video. Very good, Sitej. What is the default name of the sprite?
Sprite 1.
Sprite 1.
Correct. What is the default name of the new sprite?
Sprite
Sprite
1.
1.
Very good, Deya. Rudraksh, why you are not speaking? What is the default name of the new sprite?
Sprite
Sprite
1.
Correct. Can we change the name of the sprite?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Correct. Very good. In the left corner, it has rotate only. So rotate only. Rotate only is a button which is something like this. Face left right. Face left right is a button which has got this. And don't rotate means it is a button with this. So it will not rotate. It will stop rotating. It also comprises scripts, costumes, and sound options. So this is the photograph which has been given over here. So this was there earlier in Scratch 1.4. ये आपको Scratch 1.4 की पोजीशन के बारे में बता रहा है. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So this is the script editor. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts, any questions?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Anyone? Rudraksh, why is your
No,
video
sir.
off? Switch on your video. Rudraksh, please switch on your video.